Good evening, Trial Talk. I hope you're all keeping well. Guys, tonight it's the Plastering Podcast, episode 8, the Christmas special. We've got something special for you this evening, guys, to end 2023. We're going to be talking all about motivation and mindset working as self-employed plasterers. I'm going to go ahead right now and bring on the boys, which I'm going to have to do one by one. So we've got Cooke up first. Good evening,
Ren.
Cooke. How are you, brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you doing?
I'm all good.
Good,
Raymond, how are you?
How you doing, lads? You all right, lads and ladies?
All good, bro. All good.
And I got one word for this next man.
Yeah, God. You got everyone. You got all the girls, all the boys, all the little young kids, all the plasterers and builders. Yeah, God.
Nice one, boys. Right, as I said, guys, tonight we're talking all about mindset and motivation. And the reason that I've brought these fine gentlemen on is because I think it's fair to say they've got some pretty solid mindset in the way of work ethic, positive mental attitude, and just an overall positive mindset really towards the trade, towards their work, towards other people, helping people, sharing information, passing their knowledge and their skills down generously. Everyone on the screen now, we do that and we do it regularly and generously. So some of the challenges, I want to talk about challenges to get going. The challenges that we all face being self-employed plasterers, and what affects mindset, like what makes us stressed, anxious, depressed, bored, struggling to work on our own. And when we lose our mojo, it's all well and good when the sun's out and we've got the money's rolling in, and we're there in our shorts skimming away and there's loads of work in front of us. But what happens when the opposite happens? The winter months come in, the phone stops ringing, we might injure ourselves, we're getting pressure off family members because we're not bringing enough money. How can we keep a positive mental attitude and keep our mindset in shape when things might not be perfect in our working life? So tonight we're just going to talk about, again, some of the challenges that we might have. This time of year we know it's brutal on dads, it's brutal on self-employed plasterers. We've got the pressure to find the money for our kids' Christmas presents. We've got the pressure to wrap up all of our jobs that we've got unfinished, so we've got to get all them jobs wrapped up in time so we can get a little bit of time off for Christmas as well. So some of the challenges, running out of work's a big one, isn't it? Running out of work can stress us out. Having too much work can stress us out. Fear of injuring ourselves, chasing the money is a big one, that can stress us out. Boredom, being isolated on site, working on our own all the time can grind us down. We can get bored and lonely, I suppose, although most of us won't admit that we get lonely. We'll likely say we're bored. Our pensions and our future, we worry about that, like what happens when I can't plaster walls anymore. So tonight I want to start off with Raymond, if that's okay, my man.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you, Ray, about work ethic and attitude. But first, how did you get involved in plastering? Just very briefly, just a couple of minutes, because I know that's probably a loaded something that you could talk a lot on. But just a couple of minutes, Ray. How did you get involved in plastering, mate?
Yeah, so I'll give a short story first, yeah? So one day when I was living here, I remember I was 10 years old. I came downstairs. My mum and dad, they were sat at the table and they just says, "Oh, we're moving to Spain." But you are? And dad says, "Oh yeah, we're moving to Spain." So yeah, got on the plane and we was gone. The property that they brought was in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. There was no electric, no running water. It was like proper hillbilly stuff. So when I went to school there, I was the only English person that they'd ever seen. Me and my sister was chucked in the deep end, and I just had to learn the language rapid. Anyway, started hitting my teens, 13, 14, and started playing up at school to try and fit in more and whatnot. And all I had in my head is I wanted to come back to the UK and join the army. I left school over there at 14, but you can't legally leave unless you got a job. So I just started working with my dad, who's always been in the building trade. My first job was Spanish rendering, so it was like one coat, sand and cement, and sponge it up. He's doing like
Get away with
tank.
that in his pain.
Yeah, so it's like water tank, so it was like block work and then tanking it. So like the people that lived in the mountains or whatever could have their fresh water delivered. Did that for a few years with him, building, just showed me the ropes, tiling, just everything. Came back to the UK at 18, 19, went to sign on to join the army. Couldn't because I'd been out the country. They thought I was a security risk. So I just carried on in the building, had to do another 2 years here. And then, went in the army, went in the infantry. I picked up an injury on a training exercise during training. So I got medically discharged. My head was all over the place. Didn't know what I wanted to do, where I was going. But my brother was back here then at that time, and I just started with him, and he trained me up on the roofs, the single ply membranes, like the rubber roofs, the thermoplastic roof, doing all of that, specialist roofing. And I did that for till 2019. I just had enough. I woke up one day and I thought, I'm fed up of getting rained off, cold. I love my brother to bits and all that. It's all family, but working for family sometimes don't work, does it? So no. He's best. My missus' stepdad, who's a plasterer, he's been on the trail since he was 15. He's like 60 odd now. And he was like, "Oh, I'll train you up." So that was it. Started work with him. Day one, he gave me a podger, a hawk, and a steel trowel, and then he says, "Learn the way I did." And that was it.
Oh, no. Brutal.
Yeah, and that was it, mate. It was my first site. It was site work. It was in a Perry Bar in Birmingham, and I remember just with this podger, I was like, "There's a whisk over there. Can't we use that?" He's like, "Nah, learn the way I did. Because what happens if the whisk packs up on you?" And that's what he did. It was a laugh with nails in and a podger, and he taught me everything. Patience of the saints, that one. Patience of the saints.
Oh, mate.
And that's it. I know I've only been on the trail really for 4 years. It's not a long time, but I've just took to it like a duck to water, as they say. And I'm good at it. I love it. I do enjoy it. So if you enjoy something, it has its hard days, obviously.
Is this where your sort of work ethic was developed?
Yeah, I've always been around like working class families. Like my mum and dad have always been working class. My brother, none of us have been able to sit on our arse and not go to work. I remember when I left school, my mum was like, "Yeah, you can leave school if you're not happy there, but you're going to work with your dad." So yeah, it's always been like that.
Yeah, and that's obviously your attitude towards work is you've adopted it working with these older guys in the building trade.
Yeah.
And you've just, and would you say that's the same for you, Joel? Yeah. We all know Cookie's story. Cookie's got a strong mindset, and his attitude's pretty bulletproof when it comes to what he does, and his outlook for the trade, for how he trains the lads now. And what about your attitude, Cookie? How was it born? Your attitude and your work ethic. Where did it come from, mate? Your work ethic.
God, my work ethic, just growing up. Really, I feel privileged the way I was brought up. As in, like, we didn't have much. Just like Ray was saying, we working class. We didn't have anything really to go by. But the one thing I did see a lot was my mum grafting. Do you know what I mean? It was just a single mum. I often after school would have to go to watch her clean offices after to try and get a little bit more money in and stuff like that. And just as we come up to Christmas and stuff like that, now I just realise like how hard it was for her, and I just seen her grafting, you know what I mean? So for me growing up, I've seen that. Also, I've got to give some credit to my sister as well, because because there's a decent age gap between us. So me being young, I've seen her going to university and stuff like that. So, I've seen both sides. I've seen my mum working hard, working all the jobs she can, out before I go to school and home after I get back to make dinner. And then I've had my sister who she did the full education thing. So that's it. And also just like being in sports and playing football from a young age. And I'll be honest, my mum and that, I've been youngest, haven't I? So I've always been told I can do stuff, I can do this, I can do that. So I've had that kind of pushed onto me kind of thing, which is something I sometimes it can make you a bit of a knobhead guy if you're getting told you're great all the time. But I think for me, it's like, I don't know, just kind of never really thought I was that good. But
they've instilled, your sisters and your mum's instilled a lot of confidence in you from a young age.
Yeah, loads, mate. Yeah, like, and I've been around, like, all my family's all girls and stuff, so I feel like for me, I've just, when it comes to talking and being, open and stuff like that, I reckon because I've been around a lot of women as well, it's made my, the way I talk and the way I act. Yeah, I'm open, me. Like, I'm emotionally sound and strong, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about being open, do you know what I mean? So I guess that's
important, actually, because obviously a lot of guys are still old school in that respect, aren't they? Like they push it down, they push the feelings down, they won't speak.
Yeah,
they won't talk if something's hurting them. They won't speak about it. So
I think I've
been encouraged to. Yeah, brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Proper hands on hat on sleeve kind of things, though.
Yeah, best way to be, I'd say, mate. Quick shout out to the Trial Talk crew, guys. Good evening, Marcus Barron. Hope you're doing well. Good evening, Louis Ballett. Good evening, Colin Price. Good evening, Mark Neeson. Mark Neeson said he didn't want to risk getting blown around today, boys, by the violent winds that are outside. So he's had a day on a couch, chilling. It's been bad. It's been windy where you boys are as well.
Yeah. It was halfway down the road this morning. 6:30, I was chasing carry bags in my boxers.
I went back inside. I thought, no, not today, mate.
Good evening, Wayne Cox. Good evening, Mike Smart. Good evening, Ainsley Smith. Hope you didn't have too many bevies earlier, Ainsley. Good evening, Neil Murr. Don't think I'll have time to reel everyone off. Good evening, Alex Linnett. Good evening, Jay Crawford. Good to see you on here, mate. I've got some stuff I want to talk about in regards to Jay shortly, but thanks for jumping on, boys. Really appreciate it. And Chris Powell, mindset, work ethic, attitude. When we met at P1 the other week, Jay said to me, Chris is one of the most positive plasterers I've ever met. And there was a few boys at P1 that all said the same thing. They said he's just a ball of energy and positivity. And obviously we'd never met, and I'm quite a positive guy. But when we met, instantly I thought this guy's a happy guy. Like, his positivity is I can't explain it. It's just pouring out of you all the time. And then when I watch your videos, you're the same on all your videos as well. You seem really happy, positive. Are you always like this? And is this just your personality, or is it a little bit of show for the cameras as well? Or is this how you are?
I think this is how I am, to be honest. I'm pretty much how, I can't really front. Like, when I first started, one of my things was keep it 100. I'm just being me, to be honest. And
brilliant.
That's why I've sort of like, I just try and keep a balance to it all, I understand that I've got work, but I've also got a family. I've also got my own life. Like in my household, I've we're all together, but at the same sort of time, everyone sort of needs their own space as well. So it's just a balance for me with work and life. And I think that's what keeps me happy, is that balance, so sometimes I won't be on social for months on end because I've been killing it too much. I need time with my family, and I think that's how I keep my positivity and my happiness. I think is through keeping it balanced through life.
Brilliant. And how did you get involved with plastering, Chris? Like, what? Just real brief. Like Ray gave a little brief there. Give us a 5-minute intro into how you got involved plastering.
So plastering was sort of handed down to me through a family member, which is my uncle, my mum's brother, and he was a plasterer, stroke builder, and he basically offered me sort of to come to work on the weekend to earn a little bit of money, do a bit of tidying up, a bit of sweeping up, that sort of thing. And he just had the mindset, he's not going to pay me, it's going to be something I'm going to go and do if I want to do it. And obviously, every so often you get a little reward or whatever. Like, you might want a new console or trainers, and you say, right, come, let's go and get it. But predominantly, he wasn't going to pay me for it. So I think that was sort of like my grounding to It's either you want to do it or you don't. So, you know, and he kind of instilled that into me. So I've got to give thanks to my uncle and his partner. And they were basically both plasterers, and they had a company that was plasterers, stroke painters and decorators. So I basically used to go and chip in for them. But at the same time, I was doing computer programming and electronics, like microprocessors and stuff like that. And I just used to jump in, and then it just became like from the weekends to a couple of days in the week and the weekends, and I just plodded along like that for a little while. And then one day I sort of just took it seriously, and it came a point where I could choose: am I going to go and sit in the office and make comfortable money, if you like, or am I going to go and fight and struggle to make something happen? So I actually thought, it was more than that really. It was, I couldn't see myself commuting. It was, I don't like trains and buses, and I don't like to be, I just don't like it. So when I was out and about and we're seeing different people and different houses and different projects, we used to do a lot of shots back in the day. I just used to love being out and about, the banter on site, and it was just that's sort of cemented it and sort of gave me my sort of starting motivation, you know.
Brilliant. I don't know about you, but you know, Chris, you said you've spent a lot of time in the office today uploading videos and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually get more tired if I'm doing that than if I was plastering walls. I'd get more tired sat in the chair.
I'm gonna say Joe knows as well, and you guys know that when you're putting that time in at work, and then you've got to come back and interact and engage with an audience, and then keep up that whole, I'm gonna say facade, because it is a facade to some degrees. You know, we're always trying to paint a picture, but then I know by you guys are like the real ones, innit? You keep it truthful. Joe, he wears his heart on his thing. He'll tell you as it is, and I like that. That's why, I like it. But I just think it's just keep it real, keep it 100. You know, you can't go wrong. It's just the way forward.
And do you reckon you carried some of your uncle's work ethic into what you do today? Like you said, he trained you. Do you rub off on you?
100%, because he was. Yeah, and we're coming from a time where you've really got to work hard. It wasn't given to you, and so I saw it all growing up. I saw the struggles of getting customers not being happy, getting knocked when you're doing good work, and it's not because of money, it's just because of the ethics, if you like, or whatever, the politics at work.
Yeah,
and I saw us produce great work and being successful as well. So I know it's a rough and a smooth, and I think watching him taking that sort of run, it sort of prepared me for what I had to come, you know, in terms of.
So it's sort of from you knew what was coming.
Yeah, I knew what was coming, so I was quite fortunate. I had a really great role model, and I had the opportunity to learn from a lot of guys, you know, that were willing to teach me as well. So I was quite fortunate, you know. Not everyone has that opportunity, so I do give thanks for that. That circle I was in, you know, and as I say, that cemented or started the work ethics that I know today.
Fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ray, I'll come back to you, mate. Motivation. What helps you to stay motivated at work? I know this was a topic that you threw at me and said, what about if I mention a little bit on motivation this evening? So the microphone's yours, mate. How do you stay motivated at work?
Obviously, sometimes, mate, we all know, like, working on your own. I work on my own. I've got one lad who I'd just like to give a massive shout out to, because I know he's listening. As we said earlier, Ainsley Smith. The last few years, he's helped me out tremendously. I've been stuck on jobs because he's done it old school. He's been to college. He had an apprenticeship, and then he was working for somebody, and then he kind of went on his own at the same time as me. The funny thing is, when I was back in the building about 10 years ago with my brother, we was doing like extensions, loft conversions. The plasterer he was using, Ainsley was working for him as a labourer. And I didn't really know him then. And then like 5, 6, 7 years down the line, our worlds have kind of come back together again. And we do a lot of work together. And the other week, I was on about a couple of months back now, I was on a job and I was just stuck there. He rang me up and went, look, mate, he says, you can't be down. He says, I've just rang my builder. I've put a job off. I'm coming to help you. So he's such a nice lad. So I just want to give him a shout out because I know he's listening. All right.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, but yeah, motivation, mate. Like you say, it's hard. Thing obviously, it's the cliche thing is family, which it does. I've got a little one. I've got a mortgage, and I've got a wife. So that's always going to motivate you to get your ass out of bed and work. But that's only one step of it, isn't it? That's not going to. That's just you need to do this, you need to do that, but it's not going to physically make you do it. You've just got to enjoy your job. It comes down to enjoying your job. If you don't like your job, the motivation isn't there. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to be putting your heart into it. You're not going to be motivated to get up early in the morning, go to the merchants in the morning, load up your van for the next day. So it's all about enjoying what you do. And if doing stuff like this, like your podcast, watching rendering videos, plastering videos, new tools, all that just keeps it interesting for me. I just love looking at, even if I'm not going to buy that tool, or I just want to know what it does, or how would this make that a bit easier for me. Just being interested in what you're doing as well. If you're interested in something, you're gonna like what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So that just keeps me motivated. And awesome. One day I'm going to buy my land in the Yorkshire Dales, and I'm going to have luxury glamping pods. That's my little mate.
That sounds amazing.
So that's my motivation. Me, the wife.
In Yorkshire, yeah?
Yeah, I love the Yorkshire Dales, mate. The Dale,
good man. Beautiful
Let
place.
Cookie stay for free then, can't you?
Yeah, mate, you can. You can show him how to do some Spanish rendering.
Mate, good goal.
Love it.
We're going to come on to goals as well, but Cookie, mate, how do you stay motivated?
I think it's a mixed one, that, mate. I think there's different stages of motivation in our careers, especially being self-employed and that. I think for me, it's changed, obviously, my situation now. But I mean, when I was younger, my motivation was, to get money so I could go out and buy nice clothes and go partying and meet girls and have a laugh with my mates. So the motivation when you're young, to any young guys watching, it's like you don't want to miss out. So you kind of, enjoy yourself. Your motivation should be enjoy yourself, and obviously, gain your own little bit of self-freedom and stuff like that. And a bit of hard work, it won't hurt you. But if you do that when you're younger, I feel like motivation for me younger was to enjoy it and make sure that I wasn't missing out on what young people should do, which is letting your hair down, having a good time. So I feel like that was a big motivator when I was younger. And then as I've got older, obviously I've just had a baby now, but obviously we've had a mortgage for 12, 13 years. So I guess that was a motivator then. I've got a mortgage, like Ray says, we've got to pay bills, we've got to pay a mortgage. So that was that. But I think now it's like you say, it's a cliche, innit? You say, my family, my missus and my daughter and stuff like that. That's my motivation, because it is, but it's more than that. It's like, for me, I just want to create a lifestyle for all of us that we can enjoy and be fulfilled. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've learned through my journey of what I've been on and what I've been doing. It's like, it's not about, like, when I say younger, motivation was to look cool to everybody. Now it's like my motivation, I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks about me, to be fair. It's just, as long as I get to go home to a nice home that's got plenty of food in it, see the food comes first. We've got plenty of food in it. My family's in there, they're warm, they're happy, they don't want for nothing financially, really. If they want something, you can get it. Don't mean we need to splurge or anything like that, but it's just one of them where, for me, a big thing is that my family are free. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to go on holiday, you can go on holiday. If you want to, you need to put fuel in your car, you've got money to do it. If you want to, these are the type of motivators for me. Do you know what I mean? I want to, if I don't want to work tomorrow, I don't have to work tomorrow. Like, I don't.
So you've got options.
Options, mate. And I haven't done a weekend since my baby girl's been born. And it's like, I think about it, I could have done this years ago. I don't need to work weekends. So I just think a big motivator for me is to give my family the lifestyle that we want, and myself the lifestyle that I want. That's my motivator. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Is that the same for you, Chris? Or
pretty much, yeah. So pretty much in parallel lives. I think we all kind of live in parallel lives there, like in terms of family and But in terms of today's motivation, I think I'm just, you know what? After the death of my father, I was sort of had to reflect and look at things, and I turn around and look at it now, and I'm like highly motivated by wanting to be. I'm going to get competitive now in my life. This is where I'm going to get competitive in terms of. I look at my family. I come from a very large family. But when you look around, who's made it? And you know, this whole dream lifestyle and whatever. So my motivation right now is to dream, whether I can achieve it or not or whatever. It is literally to make it. And I'm not even saying in terms of having all the money in the world and nothing like that, but as Joe touched upon, to be comfortable, to have sort of everything you kind of want. But I didn't really see myself doing social media. It was all a bit of fun to me. And then this year I sort of realised that you're kind of good at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you know, you're kind of good at it. Why aren't you doing it properly? Like, so I just said, you know what? That's kind of like spurring me on. I've had the opportunity to work with Joe as well, and a lot of other guys, and like Joe was one of my first guys I sort of done a collaboration with, and he invited me over, and I respect him so much. He'll always be my brother, no matter what. It's just that respect there grew my motivation now to be really hungry to say, you know what, 2024. We're all going to band together. Let's all do this together. Who's on it? Let's roll.
You know what? This is going to lead in. This is going to lead in beautiful for my next one, which is negative influence. And you've just said there the importance of banding together. I'll come back to Ray again because this podcast ain't about me. I'll drop a few little opinions in here and there, but I want you guys to get your thoughts out there. But guys, negative influences, I think for me, as a young man, I had a lot of this going on around me in my family, in my circle of friends. I was talking to Jay Crawford earlier this week, and he said something quite powerful. He said to me that he realised that all his mates that he was going out meeting every weekend and knocking about with, they weren't even his real friends, they were drinking buddies. And it's like, I could really relate with what he was saying there. And it made me reflect on some of my younger years and some of the people that I had around me that were probably holding me down and holding me back a lot. Like, for example, if you come up with an idea and you share it and that's a stupid idea, what do you want to do that for? You don't want to do that. You want to stay where you are, you know, carry on working where you are. And that sort of negative attitude, we all come across people like that, but how do we deal with it when we do come across people like that? So Ray, I'll come back to you, mate. We've all dealt with negative people, like I say. How do you deal with negative people, mate, in your life? And this is of course going to affect our mindset probably the most, I think.
Like you said, like friends that you've been around and they're just like drinking buddies and whatnot. See, I think when you grow older, your circle grows smaller. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, like on my Instagram and stuff like that, the negative people, I call them watchers. So they're watching everything that you're doing, and they could be mates that you've been to school with or grew up with. They know exactly everything you're doing, but they won't even give you like a little like or
true. Man.
Oh, well done, mate.
That's true.
They're called watchers. So that's what they are, mate. But also the thing with negative people, if you're going to be negative back to them, the way they're behaving, you're kind of being a negative person as well. That's the way I see it. I'm not an asshole, and I can't go to someone like, no, you do my. Can you swear on this podcast, by the way? Because I've got a bit of a pot
as much as you like. I've got Christmas swear box.
It gets beeped out, Ray.
And I'm on the rum now as well, so I'll be talking like a pirate in a bit.
Don't be kicking off though. You can swear a bit, but don't be kicking off.
He's throwing the cat around.
So like I said, negative people. No one wants to be around a negative person. But like, for instance, my nan, she's old, she's a bit negative, but you can't be negative back to her. You just you hit the negative with the positive and try and bring them onto your level. If that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, I'm not going to say to someone, mate, you're fucking negative. Fuck off. I ain't dealing with you. You just I let it go in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I think we've got to have a little bit of compassion there, because they might be genuinely having a hard time.
Yeah,
mate, life is fucking hard. Life is hard.
Yeah, and they're attacking you, but you're not the problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, Cookie, what would you say, mate? How do you deal with? I suppose mostly on like in our work environment is where I'm talking about, really. But I suppose it can be at home as well, or on social media. How do you deal with it, mate?
Just fire them, innit? Let's give them a bullet.
Get them gone. Get them gone.
On a level, mate. On a level, yeah. Listen, I've had enough negativity, right? It's been a constant thing, really, in my life. I've had one extreme to the other. I could have quite easily enough gone the other way, and done that like a lot of people do where I'm from. But for me, it's like, you know what, man? I do a lot of stuff to work on mindset, like I have done for the last probably 13 years. I've done a lot of mindset stuff, so I've educated myself a lot on that. But seeing therapists and stuff like that. So for me, mate, do you know what it is? I still like a little bit of a go, though. I think you'll know if you see sometimes you might see me having a bit of an head to head with someone now and again. But the reality is a lot of Chris is laughing his head off, he knows. But the thing is, right, for me, these are some basic shit that you should do, mate. Let people who are watching, let them watch. First time someone writes a shit comment, delete them. The first time someone likes someone else's shit comment that they've done to you, delete them. You know what I mean? It's like that's what you need to do, and it's like, fuck them, mate. They don't mean anything. You know what I mean? It's like you actually mean nothing. So that's what I've done. There's a lot of plasterers and renderers out there who I've blocked because the watchers, but they've got to understand. I see when someone else writes bullshit and they like it. I see it. So you know what? You get the chop. You've got to go. And it's like,
I know what you mean, mate.
Just don't give it a chance to ignite anymore. That's the thing. I just don't give it a chance to ignite anymore. Negative
you know what,
stuff
Joel, as well. I just want to say you shared a post. It was ages ago, probably last year or something. But I think you're getting quite a few trolls coming in on your TikTok or whatever. Yeah. And you put a little post out, like a quote type of thing, and it said something like, "Delete you? Nah, I'm going to let you watch me win." And I thought, yeah, man, that's brilliant. I like that.
Well, I love that. That's half the battle. That's half the battle, isn't it, mate? It's like as long as you watching and not saying anything, I don't mind. But as soon as you say something, it's like you just gotta go, mate. So now on my comments, I delete them now, mate. Like literally, I've had idiots on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all I do is as soon as I see something they've written, I just delete them, block them, see you later. Because I can't be asked arguing with people, mate. It's like don't need that negativity in my life. But in general, mate, be honest with you, mate, I'm a pretty positive person, man. Like
quite resilient to it.
Yeah, I'm resilient to it. I put it down a lot to it, mate, to education, which I think something we'll talk about later on, where as far as mindset goes, like you said, Stuart, sometimes, like, I'll be honest, most of the time, you've got to say to people, are you all right, mate? Do you know what I mean? Because when they're negative, it's usually they're going through something.
100%,
you know?
True.
Yeah,
Chris,
that's how I deal with it, mate. Yeah.
I've got the same policy.
Chris, do you let trolls get into your head, or you?
Nah, never. Mate, like, okay. With me, I'm like this. Like, I'll read it, get trolled, and then it will probably affect me for all of 5 to 6 minutes. Like, I'll probably go mental, like, what the just be flipping out, like, real leapy, like, jump in the car, like, start it up, and I'm off.
Real leapy.
And then get back in the house with a coffee, like, yeah. But anyway, basically, it's just literally zero engagement. You know what? I see it. I don't mind. You can have a difference in opinion. That's lovely. You can differ. We can differ all day long. Yeah. But if we're gonna get nasty or personal or something like that, I've got the same tolerance like with Joe. I've got 0 tolerance. I just block you,
Yeah, for sure.
delete your comments and your friends as well. So I'm not really on that regard. I'm not really trying to sucker up to followers or nothing like that. It's just keep it real, and I'm trying to keep it clean as well, because hopefully later on we can all elevate to something a bit more cleaner and better.
Yeah,
you know, instead of doing the stuff you have to do to elevate yourself. So I'm just saying, like,
you know as well, innit, Chris, though, like when you get a bit more mature, a bit more older and that, it's like it's kind of almost like you've got to realise this when you're young and you're full of a bit more test, right? You're more like, oh, who's this challenging me? Now it's like I'm like 37, I'm like, mate, you don't even realise, I don't even give a shit what you think. Like,
mate, I'm with you. You know what happened? I used to get affected by it when I first started. I ain't been doing it for long, but and then when I looked at this guy's profile and found out he was a fisherman, I just said, you know what? You're taking the mick right now. It really affected me for like a good day or two, and I was just like,
what, telling you how to cross the walls, like?
This guy.
Oh, mate, you fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
And I said, that's it. I'm never going to take it serious again. You know what? 0 tolerance. And I think that's when I sort of just said that was enough. You know, I'm not going to, I don't engage. You know, if you want to sort of flip out a post or something, feel free. Because when I do get a negative comment, it just fuels me to drop another 3 videos. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Have another one.
Yeah.
Have another. You know what I mean? So...
I'm taking advice off fishermen, mate, when plastering walls.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Next year I'm playing with my tackle, innit?
Yeah. Do you know what, guys? I just want to add something else to that, right? Also, to have a bit more humility, like you yourself. True. Like, do you know what? Yeah. Sometimes some of the stuff what people say to you, just don't take it so serious and to heart and actually read it, and you'll actually fucking laugh. You'll piss yourself.
True that.
Yeah, it's like, what you want about, mate? Like, you're sat at home and you're thinking, why would you even write that? The stuff that I see all the time, man, I don't say no because I'm just like, whatever. But like, you've actually gone out of your way to call me a dickhead and I don't know what I'm doing. It's crazy. Like,
Joe, the funny thing is, like, I'm 30 years in this game, bro. Like, seriously, 30 years in this game.
Deep, yeah, that's deep.
How old are you, Chris? I thought he was only about 28.
Nice. Yeah, but what it is I come from a stage where you didn't learn this in college. It had to be handed down to you. You could have went, but it wouldn't have been a drop on what you have to do. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So and I learned from the older guys that these techniques we don't even use them anymore. So
no.
I just thought that that's still relevant today, and it spurs me on to kind of give you those old school videos, tips and tricks and stuff like that.
Man, keep doing you, man. Good. Keep doing you, man.
Yeah.
Guys, quick shout out to Jay Crawford again. He's been in Durham today. I did invite him on, but he say he's busy today. But I want to just talk briefly on something Jay's sharing. Good evening, Ben Lockhart. Good evening, Chris Sprott. And anyone else that's jumped on the chat. Guys, the next topic is goals and goal setting. And again, when I met Chris down at P1, I also met Jay as well, Jay Crawford. And Jay and Chris were showcasing the number bead and the render spacer. And had a good old chat with him. But I was talking to Jay about his transitioning from running a rendering company with a team of lads to then deciding to completely change lanes and go into inventing like products for the rendering trade. And I wanted to talk to him about his new render products and stuff like that. But then we got onto the topic of mindset. And I asked him, well, he actually said to me, have I told you like what my mindset rituals are and, you know, what I do in the mornings and stuff? And I said, no, tell me. And obviously we know that Jay's ex-army. He's got, you know, his military background and he's a disciplined guy, and he's been on Joel's podcast and he's told his story on there and things like that. But he said that what I was quite shocked about, and I don't know if he's mentioned this to you, Cookie, or not, but he said that he gets up every day at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
He gets up every day at 4 a.m. And I said to him, why 4 a.m.? And he said, do you realise that over a period of a year, by me getting up at 4 a.m., I'm actually getting an extra 45 days in per year of productivity. And I've not done the maths on that, but it sounds about right. But 45 days of additional productivity, it's like the amount of discipline that you must have. I mean, sometimes I'll be up at 5 or half 5, but 4 a.m. he says he gets up. And what he does, I'm not going to disclose all of his personal stuff that he's shared with me, but he basically writes in his journal at 4 a.m. his business goals, his personal and family goals, and then he says he's got what he calls a gratitude journal, where he writes down what he's grateful for in his life. And he's a successful man. He was successful in his rendering company, and he's going to be successful now, and is successful now in what he's doing. And I think all these like habits, they say, you know, what we repeatedly do. So our habits are going to shape our lives and how we get on in life. But Jay's obviously big on his goals and goal setting. Is this something that you guys adopt? I know that you ain't going to be jumping out of bed at 4 a.m. and stuff like that, but I'll come back to you, Ray. Goals. Are goals important to you? And could you offer a little tip down maybe to the young lads, something that they can do to get going with some basic goal setting? What are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, mate. The first thing that happens with goals is baby steps. Everyone knows that. If it's a mountain and you think, I want to get to the top straight away, it's not going to happen. Like a few years back, I was on Instagram and I was looking what other people are doing. I was like, why haven't I got that, Van? Why haven't I got this? How come that's not happening for me? And I was just too interested in what other people were doing. And that's like the social media trap. A lot of it can be fake shit, really bad. And I fell into that trap, as I said, like hook, line and sinker. You just got to look at what you want. What are your goals? What makes you happy? Like my goals, like I said, I know I touched on it earlier. My little dream is a piece of land, build my own brand design house on the Yorkshire Dales, 4 luxury pods, so I can have them out for £200 to £250 a night with a jacuzzi, bottle of champagne. That's going to be bringing me in a grand a day. That's my little goal.
Amazing.
I like that. You know what I like about that? Yeah. I like about that how clear you are, mate. That's what people need to do, man. You know what it is, yeah. I rate you for that, mate, because you know exactly what it is. You've focused in on it. A lot of people are scared and embarrassed to do that because they think, well, fuck that. You need to do it exactly how you've just done it. Yeah, that's quality, mate.
That is my goal. Me and the wife, like we share the same goals as well.
Good, so man.
We're both driving each other. We want 2 goats. I've learned now I've got to get 3 alpacas because they're a pack animal. They need to have 3, no less than 3. Otherwise, the 2 will pack each other. So I want my goats, my alpacas. The missus wants some little pigs. She's a vegetarian, so I don't know how that's going to work when we turn them into bacon. Yeah, mate. Goals are hard because what's a goal like? My goal this next year is I want to get my spray machine, and that to me is achievable. It's a small goal.
Of course, it is. You get that.
My goal last year, I wanted to treat myself to a DeWalt cordless mixer, just to make my life easier. And I brought it. I got myself one. It was a little goal. It wasn't, I want this, I want that. Just my little goals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my tip that I can offer to new lads is just get your goal, just dilute it a bit, bring it down, and you'll get to where you want eventually. I've only been in this. I've been in this game 4 years. Like, I know where I want to be with my plastering and my rendering. I want my land in Yorkshire, but I still want to be on the trowel. I want to be picking my jobs. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome, mate. That's great. That is. I say to the boys on the mentoring group, actually, celebrate your small wins. Like if a customer agrees to your quote and says, "Yeah, I'd like to go ahead," put a flag in the ground, even if it's like a little bathroom ceiling or something like that. Put a flag in the ground, and then over the period of 6 months, you can look back and think, "I've had all these little wins." And that's going to equate to a big win. Like you said, it's when I first started plastering, I remember like I was pricing jobs, but
by the time when I first started, how long it was taking me to do it, I was kind of like losing money, not losing money, but just not making money. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
And I remember I was nearly in tears to the missus, like, how can I do this? How am I ever going to be able to put a room on in a day? How am I going to put a bathroom on in a day? Like walls, ceiling, reveals the lot, prep it all in a. Do you know what I mean? And the other day I come home, I went, do you know what I fucking did today? I fucking did the whole room without thinking about it. Like it does come. People always say to you, it will come, and all of a sudden it does just come. And it all
last time, innit?
Yeah. Like my rendering, but my first ever rendering job, I was like, someone asked me, "Oh, can you do any rendering?" I went, "Yeah." Man, I was like, shit, I can't render. I don't know what to do. I got on Google, I watched YouTube videos, I rang Eco, I Googled best render company in the UK or something like that. Eco Rend come up. I was on the phone to their reps. I was just, mate, what do I do? How do I do this? How do I do that?
Good man.
And then I just faked it till I made it, and it worked. And after that,
a lot of us will do that. Like I started off on garden walls, my friends and family, and then I went on to like garages, and then eventually lead onto a big gable end. And when I did a fair bit of sand and cement. But it's having the confidence just to do that first little garden wall, isn't it?
Yep. Just jump in, mate. Fake it till you make it. As long as whatever your goals are doing, if it's a job that you're not happy with, as long as you tell the customer and you're clear, I've never done it before, or
be
like this,
100%.
or if it goes wrong, I will rectify it, or I will. As long as you're crystal clear and the communication is there, what you got to lose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But I look at Joel now and I look at his videos and how much he sprays in a day. That shit scares me.
You better do that with your machine, mate.
I look at him and I think, yeah, that's where I want to be, like with your machines and your setup, mate. Your setup is just awesome.
Nice.
There's one problem. There's one problem with you spraying, Ray.
What's
your
that?
beard. Your beard.
Mate, this beard. Mate, it'll work, yeah. I've got a little OCD.
You'll have to wrap it up in cling film or something.
Yeah. I've got OCD when I'm plastering now with water. It could be one gauge, but I've got 10 buckets of water around me. I don't know why. There's water everywhere. And I've got a bucket for keep my boots clean. So if I get any shit on me, I quickly rinse my boots. I've got a bucket for if I get stuff in my eye. I've got a bucket if I've got stuff in my beard and I quickly wash my beard. But it all works.
Yeah.
That's my system.
No, bro.
That's stressful, man. I've got to say, hats off, because that's a proper beard. That's a proper beard. Yeah, man. Does it take a lot of maintenance?
No, mate, not now, not anymore. Just a bit of oil. Yeah, bit of oil, bit of this, bit of that, and just keep it clean. And I just come home in the shower.
When you do your first spray job, I want to see video proof of the beard getting caked.
Yeah,
that'll be caked with thin coat, that, mate. Trust me.
Can't be wearing a balaclava on a roof. On
Yo, them little thin coat stones. I love that.
All right, let's move on to Cookie then. Goals. How important are goals for you, Cookie?
Yeah, man, they are important, man. They're good to set. Like I say, I think Raymond's were bang on there. I like the way he described it, mate. How clear he was, how crystal clear he was. I think again, man, a lot of my stuff I keep saying to you about, it's a journey and that, and the change through life. So if whatever you set when you're a young lad in game, understand it's going to change as you get older. I had a lot of goals when I first started out in the game, and to be honest with you, I smashed them really quick. Well, I say quick, it took a few years. I got to what I thought was going to give me fulfillment, and it didn't really. But the same thing goes. I did set goals, mate. I needed to get to, I wanted to do mansions. I wanted to do blocks of flats. I wanted to do housing plots. And basically, through all the things, the targets that I wanted to do, I just researched what I needed to do, and then I just hit every single target, mate, and I boxed them off. So I did that. But then I think when it comes to now, being honest with you, it's goal-wise, I don't really have an end game. I don't really think about end game and stuff like that. I just know that I want to, grow Renovate Hub into, the training workshops that I'm doing and stuff like that. And I want my business Renovate to go to the point where I've got a couple of gangs doing rendering with me. Like I say, I don't want to completely never stop doing this until obviously I'm like probably 60 or something. But That's it. My main goal really now is to get my family a nice house. That's what I want to get us. So for me, it's getting Sarah and Harper a nice house, making sure that Harper's in a good area to go to good schools. And that's it, really. I just want to, what it is, mate. It's fulfillment. Every day now for me is me just working towards being fulfilled and being happy every day. That's it. I don't do stuff I don't want to do. And I'm fortunate to be in that position, but I put myself in that position. And the reality is, I kind of feel like I don't really have anything like some people want a car or to give them, some sort of level of success or level of progress. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's just like, I just want something that I never really had, which is a nice family home where everything's not perfect, but everything's like, I want my daughter to have stuff where like it's not out of reach. She can do anything she wants. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can help you out. I can help you out financially. I can help you out, with how I am. I can, Sarah can help you out and make sure that my missus can do what she wants to do as well. So I feel like for me, goal wise, mate, when I was younger, it was to be the man and do that. And I feel like I did that for a minute until I went bankrupt, obviously. And then now it's like, now I'm back on my feet. Like I say, the first goal was to get back on my feet. Did that. And now I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing my Predator stuff. I got my Renovate hub. My business is going all right. So for me, it's just all about my family, man. I want them to have a nice house, mate. And, give them, I just want to give it to them, really. I just want them to have freedom. That's it.
100%. Like, would you say as well, Joel, like, this might sound a little bit hocus pocus to some lads that are watching, but like, if you look at everything around you now, like what you've, because essentially you've put it there, haven't you? No one else has.
Yeah, me.
No one else has knocked your door and said, "Here you are, Mr. Cooke.
It's me, mate.
Can you be this ambassador, or can you come and do these big spray rendering jobs?" Like, you've actually made a conscious decision in your mind at some point, whether you're conscious of it or not, and you've actually created that reality around you by being goal orientated and having in your mind a vision of what you want your life to look like. Do you think there's a lot of lads that just haven't got that, have that thought process to even think about that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's what it is. I feel like what it is, you've got to look at it like this. Everyone starts with mad dreams of what they want to do, and that's great. I think everyone should have that, but a lot of people, what they don't do is work backwards. You know what I mean? You've got to work backwards. And I feel like for me, it's like I've got a goal, which is for the lifestyle that I want for my family. There's a financial figure that has to be hit for that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it has to be hit for that. But I could easily enough start doing what I did before with Cooke plastering and build a bigger company. I'd be unhappy, and I'd quite easily hit the figure that I need to hit every year, but I won't be fulfilled. So for me, I know that ain't going to work. So then I've got to look at other things where it's like, well, what do I enjoy? I enjoy training people. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy playing with machines and toys, like Raymond says. It's like, this is like, I'm playing with big kids' toys, mate, every day.
That's what's keeping you interested. That's the motivation.
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yo, so how can I make money out of that though? So next thing, I've done a few videos. A few people have bought machines when I had like the K4, and then when I've gone into this other stuff, our Predator, and it's kind of like just naturally gone from that. They've seen that I'm passionate about it, and they realise that it works. Do you know what I mean? This guy's showcasing our stuff and he's being honest with it, because that's one thing I am. I'm not going to lie, and I just feel like it's fulfilled me, and I've hit something where with Predator now, it's going to add. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting paid a big wage, mate. You know what I mean? I'd like to be on a big wage, but the reality is, what I'm saying is, it contributes to my financial goal that I want to hit. Do you know what I mean? So Predator does that, but you gotta understand as well. Like, Predator get a lot of value out of me, and I get a lot of fulfillment out of doing that for them as well. So everyone wins in a situation. Do you know what I mean? And then with the Renovate Hub, I don't actually make anything from that yet, but the stuff that I am going to be doing, that I will, and it'll, and again, that'll add to the financial total I want to get. So there is targets, mate, and there is goals. But number one before all of them is to make sure that I'm fulfilled, mate, and I'm happy. Because if I'm not happy and I'm not fulfilled, none of them work. So,
100%. Hit it on the button.
That's it, mate. Yeah. I think anyone can do it, mate. Like you say, look at Powell. Do you know what I mean? And yourself.
Yeah, you what?
Yeah,
I
no,
was
but look at yourself.
going to come on. I was going to say, Chris, like, you're well known. You're big now on social media.
Of course you are.
Everyone, all the plasterers know you, you know. And when I said that you were jumping on, I had a fair few messages.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for Chris to come on. I love him.
It brings the energy, mate.
Video, the energy, and
that's it.
Chris,
it's crazy.
Did you have goals when you were, like, say 5, 6, 7 years ago to become to grow your social media presence, or did it just happen naturally, or do you set goals, or?
It's all a surprise to me, to be honest, because when you don't say things like that, I'm just like, you what, mate? Like what? Like, I don't think you understand, because I don't see myself like that, and it's funny because I just don't see myself like that. I'm like you guys. I'm the same as you. There's no difference. I don't know. It's just I got to recognize that sort of language, because it's just what I do. It's like, but in terms of goals and stuff, like, I don't have goals. I don't try to have goals. I just write. You know what? You know when they say follow your gut instincts? Like, even in work, some customers, sorry customers to say it, I don't get the right feeling from this customer, so I'll walk away.
Yeah,
and it's not because I don't, and it's not judging a book by its cover. You know, when you've been doing it for a little while, you can kind of sense certain things, and yeah, your gut feeling. So I sort of roll with that, you know. And even like my social media, as I said to you, and it's only in the last 3 months I've started to think about maybe I should start doing this thing properly, like, because it's just a bit of fun to me. I'm not like guys said to me, you should be making money out of it and whatever, and
of course you should.
Like, yeah, and I agree with that, but it wasn't. I didn't do it for that. I did it for the love of it. Like, literally, I actually enjoyed teaching you this little trick, or let me show you how I do this. It was never. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it was never.
But to have. You know what, though, Chris. Yeah, like, that's fair enough, right? You doing you showing your tricks and stuff, and you know you share them, great. You know what I mean? But when it comes to anything like with the brands, and I've seen you do a lot of brand stuff.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? You've got to realise, brother, giving you a little trowel now and again ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
It's true. I do understand that.
I can buy my own fucking trowel, thanks. Do you know what I mean? The reality is, you're getting a lot of views on your videos, 6,000-7,000 views, you know, for a normal little video that you do on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck that.
I don't know. I do understand that. And I agree with Joe on that as well, because, as I say, I've come to the realization that I actually really enjoy making videos. It's a bit of a shame that I don't have time to make them consistently, like every day, or even being that sort of thing. But as I said to you, it's only in the last couple of months that I've started to really take it seriously, in terms of really starting to think about workflow. And like, you can't make a video on TikTok, Facebook, and why are you making 3 different videos? You know, now I'm starting to do it,
bro. Me and you gonna have a chat. Me and you gonna have a chat this weekend, because you can do that off one video, mate.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just starting to turn it around now, where I'm starting to make one video.
Yeah.
And
it's like this one. This is streaming on YouTube and Facebook, but it's also stored on the cloud. So then I can repurpose this into different, you know, little TikTok shorts or whatever I want. But I've only had to make it once.
I'm struggling with Facebook. I don't understand how Facebook works. Right now, I don't understand how am I supposed to be following people to get followers, or I don't get it. But
you couldn't even turn his headphones on.
I don't get it.
Speak to Cookie, and if you want to, mate, all 3 of us will do another chat. You know,
100%.
I think what we need to do, guys, is this. Yeah, we need to link up together privately and share a lot of this information, because, like I say, man, you know, you do a lot for the industry, mate, right? And it's like, no one really, you know, I'm not this. It sounds thingy, doesn't it? But it's like end of the day, mate. If you're enjoying it and you're good at it, mate, you should be getting something for it. Like I guess when it comes to brands and stuff like that, I just really think it's just mental. It's like anything else. If you watch these influencers on Instagram who actually don't do shit, but they put on some gym gear and then they're getting sponsored. Do you know what I mean? They're getting a kickback from it. You know. I'm just saying, Powell, you've done loads of stuff like with Knorr and that. You never did loads of spray stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like that was big for them, mate, because no one knows about that really. So,
yeah, true. But,
I think like Cookie started off hammering out YouTube videos and Facebook videos, and we've added a lot of value. We've not asked for anything back. And you did it for years, didn't you? And Chris started off like that. I've started off like that. Most people making videos to help people, ain't you?
Yeah. That's it. It's great.
You're dead right, though. You're dead right. Like if people are going to be making money, then you need to take a piece for yourself. That's
100%. And that's what I'm looking at right now. Like, how do I turn it around? How do I actually start this? So I'm on a journey right now, and I think 2024 is like, I see it as my start. I think you're going to see a lot of me next year because, and I think I'm going to see a lot of all you guys as well. Everyone
tell me, Chris, tell us though, what's your main? What are you going to smash next year? We want to know because we want to watch out for you. What is it you want to kill next year?
You know, to be honest with you, my goal literally is to set up because I work on my own. I've always worked on my own. And it's literally to set up a company that with reputable plasterers, so good guys. I've always tried to have guys with me, but they're always young guys, labourers, and it's just not the direction I kind of want to go in.
What do you want to do?
What in terms of
what are you going to do next year? What are you going to smash next year?
I've got two businesses. I've got the plastering and the jewellery, which you probably don't know about, but yeah.
Okay. I know you're a jeweler. I know you was a jeweler.
Yeah, I've got those two, and I'm as I say, by the end of next year, both of those businesses are up and running to where I want them to be. That would be the goal, you know. And it's not. I'm not saying we must be making tens of thousands or millions out of them, but at least as long as they're up and running and they're kind of running themselves, that's my goal for next year. But my brother's on the jewelry side, and the plastering, I think I've got that in terms of knowing what to do. It's just to turn into more. That's the funny thing, because I think what the problem a lot of guys have, or a lot of us creators have, is we love doing the work, but we're not necessarily great businessmen. So
you need to get on mentoring.
I'm shitting money, bro. Shitting money.
So
don't
I think
financial advice off me, mate.
Next year, and I'm saying to all of us, we need to be more business minded, study the business more, so we don't have to work as hard making money. That's
Ray mentioned earlier that he's got a vision for where he's going, which is he wants to buy a piece of land and have these glamping pods in his own home, and like that it's out of reach at the minute, but that's pulling him forward.
He's moving closer to it.
Closer. And this is what I said about, I mentioned to Joel earlier, I don't want to get too hocus pocus, but if you've got a crystal clear vision of what you want, and you keep seeing that in your mind's eye, then as crazy as it sounds, mate, as crazy as it sounds, doors and windows will start opening for you. And
I think
as long as you keep your eye on it. And this is what me and Jay were talking about, because Jay's big on this as well. And like Joel mentioned, reverse engineering it. It's doable.
Yeah, I think
it's doable. But
right now, I'm going to take a note on that, because I think before the year's out, I'm going to get that plan down on paper, write it down, visualize it, and actually work 100%. Towards it. So I've taken something today that I'm actually going to structure it a bit more.
Yeah, do that.
Get that dream on the board.
Earlier on, Chris, when Stuart said to you, "What are your goals?" You said you don't really have a goal, but you've just answered.
No,
said what you want.
Know what? The reason why I say that was because when I've never really followed the structure, I always follow my heart, go with the frequency, and ride the wave, and it's always brought me through somehow, some way.
But you know what? Following your heart. You say follow your heart and your instinct, but that is guiding you. And that is your goal. Because
100%,
your conscious is telling you, do that.
Yeah,
get the right
100%.
direction. That's it. So
And
you don't necessarily have to have it all written out on paper, but
No.
Yeah.
your instincts are telling you and have led you to where you are now. Because of the
definitely,
decisions you've made.
definitely. Because even
Intuition.
when I was younger, like I was a real free spirit. Like I didn't settle down to like 36 and had kids. I had kids when I was 36. Like, and then sort of all before that, I was always raving and the boys like girls and partying.
Yeah.
Honestly, I lived a life that was just like crazy. So transitional periods now, I've got to sit back and take things seriously. So I've enjoyed life, but at the same time, I've worked hard for it all. So it's not.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it, mate.
You know.
Got to enjoy it. All right, time's ticking on, so quick move through the last couple of questions, boys. Back to Ray then. Mindset. So obviously tonight's chat, guys. Mindset and motivation is the theme. Mindset and motivation. There's going to be lads now on Trial Talk that are probably struggling, to be honest, and they probably might look at us and think, it's all right for you. You're jumping on doing podcasts, you're making videos, you've got your own home, and you've started a family and things like that. And they might not be there yet. They might not know how to get there or get the wheels turning. So the idea is to just offer them down a little bit of advice, I suppose, if they are struggling in their business or even in their personal life in self-employment. But Ray, like if you could give some advice to a young lad now who's struggling with his mindset, like what would you say the ideal mindset would be for a self-employed person? What's the ideal mindset?
Number one, first thing, don't believe everything that you see online, because we all do it. We all scroll through Facebook. We all scroll through Instagram, and it's like, unless you're like Joel, who wears his heart on his sleeve and says it how it is, a lot of it's bullshit, and I learned that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard out there. The minute it's hard out there, because you're not just a plasterer. And yeah, you might be the best plasterer in the world. You've also got to be a businessman. You've got to be a salesman. You've got I'll be honest with you. I'm shit with my money. I'm just shit with money. I get money. I'm like, because I've grew up with it and I've never really had it. I'm not saying that I grew up broke, but I've never really had it. So when I get it, it's gone. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, man.
It's my missus that's the glue. My missus is the glue. She keeps it all together. She's like the little rock. She's like, no, you need to do this. You need to do that. And that's what you need behind you. Whether it's your missus, your dad, family, anyone, a friend, you need someone good behind you. Do you know what I mean? So if you can get that, you're halfway there. Then the rest is on you. If you're a young lad and you're just getting on the trail, make sure you're enjoying what you're doing. Because if you don't, you're going to be waking up and you've been like, I don't want to do this, and your heart's not there. And then if your heart's not there, you're going to be off with the customer. Then if you're off with the customer, they're going to be off with you, and they're going to stall your payments, and then it's going to have a knock on. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck all that, man. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And if you are good at plastering and you like it, be fucking confident about it. Make sure people know that you're good about it. Yeah, everyone's got different personalities. You might be shy, and I understand that it could be hard. Like me, I turn up to a job, I've got a big beard, I've got my cap on backwards, got my tattoos, my hoop earrings, and people are like, I didn't expect you to look like that. What do you expect? And then they go, I bet you love rock music, don't you? Do you go to these mosh pits? No, I don't really. I love the 80s electro and hip hop. Like, do you know what I mean?
Should you?
Yeah, but everyone's judging. But then when they meet me and they see me, they're like, "Oh my god, you're like one of the nicest guys I've ever met."
I know, that's class. That I thought that when I met you. You have got a good energy, though, mate. When I met you, you got a good energy, man.
Yeah. So just put out positive vibes. Know where you stand.
Didn't you?
Just know where you stand. No. Obviously, you said like tips for new guys that are standing out. Just be upfront with everything. If there's a little wall that needs plastering and they've asked you to do it, before you do it, tell them how much it's going to cost. Be upfront and always stand your ground. Just as long as there's communication is key, as they say, isn't it? As long as people know what you're there to do and why you're there, you'll have no issues.
Good man.
That's all I can say. Be firm but caring.
Spot on. Cookie, the right mindset for self-employed lads that are coming into the game, the right mindset that they need.
Mindset. Obviously, I think a lot of it's down to being positive. Being patient is a big thing. You've got to be patient, guys. It's not going to happen overnight. But the number one thing that I want to say to anybody is this: listen, get educated. So with me now, I work by myself a lot of the time. Sometimes I've got labourers and stuff like that. But the one thing I've done consistently for years is I've got educated. And you might think, you know, man, I'm off to uni. I just want to be a plasterer. I'm not telling you to go to uni or college or all that. All you need to do, right, is get Audible on your phone and some earpods. Yes. I have got, honestly, man, I listen to audiobooks. I get them every other week now. And I've been listening to audiobooks like constantly. And do you know what it is? You don't get bored of them. Put your podcast on if I don't want to learn that day, you know, just to keep me ticking over. But what it is, it's all about input. And with the education that I've done and what I've learned, like what Ray would have saying there, I understand a lot more stuff now. So when I go to talk to someone, it don't matter where I am or what I'm doing, I look at it from so many different angles before I start making assumptions and figuring stuff out. You know, I don't judge a book by its cover. I know what to ask and what to listen to and what to look at body language wise and all that kind of stuff for me to get a sound judgment of a person. So I've got that though from audiobooks, business audiobooks. Yeah, business audiobooks have taught me stuff like that. Personal help audiobooks. I've got loads of them, man. I've spent loads of dough on them, honestly. And it's like they're just, you know, they're to me are like, why didn't I do this when I was like 21? I'd have been a multi-millionaire by now. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Honestly, you can learn audio. Get your audio books, guys. And you might be thinking a tenner for an audio book. Listen, mate, get it and listen to it 3 or 4 times. I guarantee every time you listen to it, you'll learn something new. So it's worth it. That's my big thing.
It's easy to sort of.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Go on, mate.
All I was going to say, like the last question you said is like, what would be the number one tip you'd give to someone starting up now? If you say you're going to be somewhere, be there. I get so many jobs that people turn up around and say to me, "Oh, you're the only one that's turned up this morning because you said you would."
And always send them quote.
If you say you're going to be there at 8 o'clock Monday morning, get your ass there at 10 to 8 Monday morning, and just do you know what I mean? I've won so many jobs because I've turned up.
Yeah, and send the quote. Send the quote's a big one, Ray.
Yeah.
Reliability is big. Reliability is big.
That's it. Obviously,
that was
Chris. Pass it over to Chris.
Go on, Chris, mate. What would you say on the mindset then? Mindset for the young lads.
Mindset, you know, it's a hard one because you're always dealing with your mind, but it's what you tell yourself as well. I mean, if you're going around telling yourself, I can't do this, you can't do it. If you're telling yourself that, oh, I want this, like, you're always going to want it. So you got to be very, very careful in what you actually tell yourself. And that's important from the day starts to the day ends. So I'm talking about on every single level, on a mental level, spiritual level, whatever. You can't tell me I can't do something. I can do anything. My wife's an analyst, and I tell you I can do her job better than her. She can do it. Because I tell myself, and then even when I'm like, I want to achieve something. So let's say I wanted to save £20,000. I'm gonna say it to 40. I'm gonna work hard and hard and hard. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna focus on making that money or whatever. And at the end of that time period, if I don't make the 20, I've made more because I set the goal higher as well. So I'm always setting my goals a little bit higher, knowing that I'm not going to achieve it in reality, but I'm going to go for it. And that's my mindset. I know it's harder said than done, but you really got to fake it before you make it, as you say. And the secret behind it all is no one's perfect. No one's plastering is perfect. No one. There's going to be imperfections in the corners, along the bottom, somewhere along the line. Someone can pick out something to do with plastering because we're human beings, we're not robots. So this whole facade about, oh, look at this room, it's immaculate, I think I did not know, it's all crap. So if you take the mindset to reality, no plastering is perfect, then you're at a good baseline to start plastering because You're always going to make mistakes. Even me, in my long time now, I still make. The other day, I plastered the wall, had 2 different substrates on it. One went off faster than the other. At the end of it had a lump in it. And I was like, it's not what you did, it's how you rectify it. So the next day I skinned over it. Pucker, you'd never know. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the mindset, it's get over things. Don't go too hard. Don't go and try to do a room in a day. Do a ceiling and 2 walls. Have a break, go home. Change the mindset, because
100%.
we're finishers. The worst thing to do is to do a job and then the customer's got to go around snagging it, or having other people come in and snagging your work. That's the worst thing. So I would say slow it right down, because if you're making 600 quid for the room, 500 quid for the room, split over 2 days, you greedy sods. You know what I mean? Give the customer what they want, not what.
Chris, man, we're not asking for reason why you're slow at plastering. We're just asking for your mindset.
Liaising with muscles, mate. But seriously. But I'm saying the mind is all that to do with mindset. Well, I tell you what,
you're right.
slow your mind down, and get the work right. When you get the work right, you'll be faster than anybody, because that's, you know what? I learned, if you want to become faster, go slower. So what I'm saying is, you can whack it all on running around and blah blah. But the time you've made a mistake, having to go back and fix this or that, the other guys on the next job. You know what I mean? So it's not about fast. You can imagine that you can do 3-4 jobs fast if you can, and then the phone ain't ringing anymore. You know, you do 2 good ones, it's always ringing. So it's about mindset.
Quality,
you know?
not quantity. 100%.
Exactly, that's it.
That's what we say. That's what we always say. Alex Linnitz just shared a comment, although it doesn't show his name on StreamYard. He's saying motivation for new self-employed plasterers. He's basically saying, like, put in 120% effort is what he's saying in a nutshell, because you can't slack when you're self-employed. We got another one here from Ainsley. Again, can't show your name, Ainsley, mate, but it's Ainsley Smith. Leave every job clean, doors, windows, floors. Be like a good criminal, take the most cash and leave no evidence behind. Nice one.
All stuff like that makes a difference. The other week I did a job. As I came out the house, I mopped the kitchen floor for her. I wasn't even working in the kitchen. And she left me this amazing review on Google, and at the end she put, he even mops the floors. That blew her mind. It didn't matter that I'd plastered her bathroom out and made it look immaculate. She was more mop the floors.
It's so important. I tell you what,
so important.
I go as far as wiping the cortex before I go, like the footprints as I walk out. I go in, like, because I know you're in people's homes, whether you like it or not, and these are people's belongings. It might be a dirty floor, but it's someone's dirty floor. Do you know what I mean? So
I went and priced one the other day, and I was only looking at the job. I was in my work clothes, but I put overshoes on as I went in the house. And she went, "Oh my God, you tradesmen have got all the technology."
But you know, saying that, it's those little things. It's those little things.
I remember stuff like that, mate.
It's those little things. And I mean, how much it cost for a bag of those little boot covers? Keep them in the van. You price up a job, you're on a winner, mate.
Yeah. No one wants to see my size 5 hobbit feet anyway.
Right, time's ticking. It's 8:20, but I've got one more if you are okay for 5 minutes. The last question is gratitude, and obviously the more gratitude we have, the happier we are. That's just how it works, I think. Ray, I'll come back to you, mate. Quick one. How important is gratitude? How important is gratitude?
One of the main things, I think. It's what keeps you going, isn't it? If you do a job and the customer at the end of the day says, well, "That's amazing," because you're normally like one of the last trades in there, aren't you? You've made them ugly walls pretty, so you're getting bigged up on your Google reviews, or they just love your finish. Gratitude's everything. When a customer turns around and says to you, "Oh, that's amazing," it's a nice feeling. That job that I've just done, it was for my brother, the rendering job that Joel said I did a nice job of. I did that for my brother. And it was my own brother. He gave me a 50 quid drink on top at the end. He says, "Go get a bottle of rum." And that's my own brother. I didn't expect that. But he was just like, "Nah, mate, you grafted. You've done an excellent job." And that's the gratitude. It makes it all up. It just makes the job, doesn't it? If you go to a job and the customer's there and they've got you a good cup of tea and showing their gratitude, it just helps.
It does make, when they show it back to you,
when they show gratitude, it makes your life easier. If there's no gratitude, it's hard. You don't know where you stand with a customer when there's no gratitude.
True.
I'll just touch on it. I went and looked at a job the other day. It was a Venetian plastering job. I walked in the house, big, massive house. The bloke just went, put your samples down there. I want it in grey. I'll see you in a bit. That was it. I measured up. He didn't. I was just like, I was walking around his house. There was no one around. I was just like, I didn't even know what he wanted. I just measured a wall and sent him a price. I held nothing back. I was just like, when you can read a customer straight away. I'd
have just walked out.
Didn't shake my hand. Didn't do nothing.
Walked out.
I had to find him to get the gate code to get back out.
You know what you didn't do? You didn't vet him.
Yeah. It was on my way home. It wasn't out my way. I know what you're on about.
Fuck him.
What about you, Joel, mate?
Fuck him.
Fuck that guy. I'd have left, mate. Not being rude like that. Gratitude for me, mate, is a big thing, man. Like, I just think there's a lot of stuff, right, that I do that, like, even my missus sometimes is like, she almost looks at me as a bit like thingy, like, I don't share it because you don't need to get, I don't do it for the same reason why I do my videos and stuff like that. So like the other day I bought some geezer outside Greg something to eat, and my missus was like, "Oh, did you just get him something?" And it's like, "Oh yeah," and I wouldn't have said no about it because it don't matter to me. Gratitude is giving to someone who can't do anything for me. Do you know what I mean? Like that to me is something that I was brought up to be like. So we never had much, but the reality is what we did have. We didn't mind sharing it. So I feel like for me, gratitude is giving something without wanting to really receive something back, but then helping someone out who's less fortunate than me. Do you know what I mean? And I think, like I say, I do a lot of things that I'm not one of them guys who takes a selfie with an homeless guy that I've helped out. But yeah, that to me is like, it makes me feel better because fucking a fiver to me is nothing.
There's nothing to say we won't be where that man is, or and anything can go. Like, life can throw you a curveball at any time, can't it?
Yeah.
Like, just because we're doing well today, it doesn't mean we're always going to be like this. And that guy that sat on the pavement, I'm the same way. I'll give him a fiver. And I won't
it's someone's son, though, isn't it, Stu? It's someone's daughter, it's someone's brother, it's someone's sister. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? End of the day, they're another human being. So for me, I think gratitude is like when you're doing something out of the goodness of your heart, where you're not doing it to get no sort of validation or anything like it. Don't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it because I want you to be better, mate. That to me is that's the best way I can do my gratitude. That's it. That's the only that's the only way I think I can do it, mate. Like, I don't know. I'm a bit of a fucking I've been one of them daft geezers. If I was a multi-millionaire, I'd give fucking loads of it away. You know what I mean? Like, that's
I'm the same way, mate. I'm wired the same way.
Like, I get more from that. If someone tells me, like, if I help someone, right, and they say, "Oh, cheers for that," like, I'm almost embarrassed. Like, I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about it." Do you know what I mean? Like, I got what I wanted from it. I wanted to help someone. Do you know what I mean? And I feel better for that. I feel fulfilled for that. So I think gratitude's one of them for me, mate. Like I say, it is nice when customers show you gratitude. But yeah, some don't. Some do. Some don't. It is what it is. But as long as you pay me a bill, that's enough gratitude for me, mate. So.
That's it. Flask jobs. You have to take a flask with you because you ain't getting it.
My current customers, sweet.
You'll all probably agree with this. It's customers that haven't got much that always give you the brew.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know. They're all going to be listening. All the rich ones are listening to this and thinking, "Am I doing something wrong?" You know what I mean, no, mate. You go to not saying a poor person's house, but like a working class family.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I vet mine now, and I ask them, "Do you make brews?" So if they say no, mate, I'm like, "Fuck the price of your job."
That's
What about you, Chris?
on a calf. On the rest of it.
Chris, what are your thoughts on gratitude, mate?
Yeah, so you know what? I'm kind of a spiritual person still. I wouldn't say so much religious, more spiritual, like no name and all that. But I give thanks, man. I get up in the morning, I give thanks to the Most High, if you like. Even the other day, I'm on the motorway down to Tottenham. Mate, that was a 3-hour drive. I've got to say a little prayer, yeah, because I don't know if I might not come back to the kids. Do you know what I mean? Everyone gets the kids goodbye with the thought that I might not come back today. So I give thanks to whoever you may call him. And at the same time, I just like, you know what? Anything that I do wrong, I've got to like sort of say sorry for and actually forgive myself as well as the other person.
Yeah.
And to keep it rolling, do you know what I mean? So I'm very grateful for my life, for being here in this moment, for you guys, for the interaction. That's what I'm really, truly grateful for. What Joe said about the homeless people, that is, I would have touched on that as well if he didn't say it, and he said it perfectly. So that as well, you know, I always give
the situation people are in now, mate.
Yeah,
life is fucking hard, man.
And everyone, not even everyone, but a lot of people would want to use the excuse of, oh, he's going to go and buy drugs with it or whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean? And it's an excuse. I just don't buy it anymore, and it's just you just don't want to help. Keep it as real. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right, man. You're
but
right.
I'm not that guy. I will help. Like my neighbour just lost her husband, and I speak to my mate about it the other day, and I thought I wanted to say that I gave her some money. I thought if you said don't, bro, it's not about that. You don't give to receive. So it's not about. It's about the real help. You know what I mean? It's about. And when I said to my wife, I gave her a couple £100 and whatever, she was like, "Yeah, thank you, good, mate. You've done the right thing." So
yeah, good man.
Look, affirmations like that, I'm just like, you're doing the right thing, you know. And I say, just give thanks that we're here. And we're in the moment. As I say, I met Joel whenever, and we're still talking. And I've met you guys, and I'm just grateful for the interactions of life and everything. Yeah, man. So I'm truly grateful.
Can I tell you one more thing, guys, as well about gratitude with your customers, right? Check this out, right? So years ago, when I first started Cooke plastering, I was doing small domestic jobs, right? I started doing some larger ones and stuff like that. But anyway, a couple that bought their house, right? And they were trying to work for it plastering wise, yeah. So basically, I plastered the staircase and the entrance hall first because it was shot. Then I did a few months later when I saved some more money up. I did their back room, which was like a dining, living room all in one. So I did that for them, fireplace, etc. And then they wanted me to go into the bedrooms then, and it was going to be the baby's bedroom. It was their bedroom currently, but they're going to make it into I've done the baby's bedroom, the box room. I've done that one already, sorry. And this was going to be their bedroom. So I give them a price, but the ceiling needed boarding. And I give them the price, and they come back and she was like, "Oh, we'll just get the walls done, Joel, because we can't really afford to get the ceiling done." So I said, "Don't worry, I'll do the full thing for you." She went, "No, we can't afford it." I said, "You don't need to worry about that. I'll board the ceiling. I'll skim it off for you. You'll get the perfect job that you want. Just when you've got the money, just let me know. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about it." Yeah. So she was like, "What? You'd really do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I will. Don't worry about it." And she's like, "What? Hey, like," I said, "I've done all this other work for you in your house, and you know, I see you as someone who's like, I know you now. Do you know what I mean? So don't worry about it." Yeah. Anyway, boarded it all, plastered the full room, mate, and I forgot about it. They paid me for the normal walls, and then I just forgot. 8 months later, she just rang me and said, "Oh, I've got that money for the thing." So I was like, "Oh God, I forgot about that." Oh, nice one. So I went down to her house and she made me loads of butterfly buns, and she gave me them.
Oh, nice.
You know what, mate? Yeah, she had tears in her eyes, mate. She was like, "You know what? No one's ever really done out for us, like, but like we were struggling with money and stuff like that, and you did that for us. Like it means so much." And I was like, "Yeah. Yo, well, thank you for the butterfly buns." Do you know what I mean? But that's gratitude, mate. You know, that person's supported me on 3 other jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm not gonna leave you short and just do your walls. No way.
Yeah,
that's perfect, mate. And I want to give a shout out as well to Kirk. Kirk Johnstone, because I don't know if any of you boys follow Kirk's videos, but
Yeah.
funny you've just said that, because he's had a job over the last week or two, and he's working for an elderly lady, and I think she was a bit tight for the money at this time of year and stuff like that, and he patched in above a window. It weren't a huge job, probably took him half a day or something like that, but when he wrote the invoice out, he just put 0.
Yeah.
And then he passed. I thought that was a nice little touch, that.
Yeah, lovely.
Because let's face it, none of us are running non-profits and we're trying to make money, but we can afford, all of us can afford maybe once or twice a year for an old girl to give back a little bit like that, I think. And I think it's brilliant, you know, and you know, the fact that Joel's done that, Kirk's done that. There's been times I've done that in the past as well, and there's been times where, you know, like Joel said, he's seen someone down and out on the street coming out of Greg's, he's given him a few quid, and it's like this time of year we have to be conscious of that, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? I'm not a religious man, like Chris said, but there's definitely a higher power up there, and I think that's what's pulling us through. Mentioned about Ray's got his vision and his goals. That's what's going to pull you through. Is having that positive mindset. But lads, I just want to say what I'm grateful for, and that's this group. You three on here this evening. I'm grateful for Trial Talk. I'm grateful for all the boys that have been on this evening involved in the chat, and for all the members that have joined as well, joined the YouTube channel, joined the Facebook group. All of you have made Trial Talk what it is today, 4 years down the line, and I could not have got it anywhere near to the numbers that it is without you guys joining the group. So, and obviously participating and helping each other, and being gentlemen in that way. So I just want to take this quick opportunity just to say thank you very much. Really, really appreciate every single person that's joined and that contributes to the group as well, but especially to you boys this evening for jumping on.
No, thank you.
I did that earlier. I put a little video on Trial Talk. I just wanted to say to everybody, all the members that are in that group, mate, you've been amazing. Like, you can put anything on there and you'll get.
I've seen that.
You won't get slagged off. Everyone's there to help. It's just, mate, it's just a great group. What you've got going on, mate.
No, good at technology. Good on you, Stuart, mate. You know what I mean? You're a good lad. You're one of good lads, aren't you? So, yeah, man. You deserve everything, mate.
Cheers, Joel.
One question before you go, Stuart. What's your goal for next year? Because I think we got your goal. What is your? Yeah. Where do you see yourself next year? I didn't get your one. What's your goal? Your end of next year, where are you going to be?
So my goals for 2024 is going to just be to keep growing the mentoring group, keep helping out the lads in the mentoring group. I'm going to be pushing even more on the internal wall insulation. So I started off like you, re-skimming, rendering, and over the last, say, 3-4 years, I've slowly transitioned into internal wall insulation, doing a lot of soundproofing, damp proofing. Last year, so this year, 2023, I've only done, I can count on one hand how many plastering jobs I've done. So about 90% has been internal wall insulation. So moving into 2024, I'm trying to make that 100%. Grow the YouTube channel a bit more, keep growing the groups, and keep etching towards where I'm not doing a lot of just plastering. So it's going to be 100% IWI is where I'm going, with the cork sol as well. Don't know if you've heard of cork sol, Chris, but it's spray cork. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that next year as well. And that's going to be going big for Tiwi, just an internal wall insulation systems as well. So that's with
cork sol.
Cork sol,
Oh right, okay, yeah.
But on a personal level, mate, I've ditched the booze, which I did when I hit 40. I've hit 40 this year, and I've binned off the booze. I've still got work to do on my body. I'm out of shape. I'm a mess physically, to be honest. I need to lose weight. I need to sort my physiology out big time. I used to run. So I used to run a couple of times a week. I'd get up early doors. I'd run around the block, do a 15-minute, not a sprint, but I'd do, get my heart rate up. And that would do wonders for my mental health and get the endorphins pumping, get my heart pumping.
Yeah.
But I've been sloppy this year with that. I've done hardly any running at all, and I'm feeling it in the body. I'm feeling it tired, lethargic, meeting loads of shit. So moving into 2024, one of my goals is to, because obviously I'm no spring chicken now. Get away with it when you're in your 20s and 30s. But then if you're working predominantly on your own, on the tools, and you've got a shit diet and you don't do anything physically, then like now I'm starting to slowly feel it on the shoulders, on the legs, pains and lower back. So 2024 for me, I need to sort the body out, I think.
Get on top of it.
But that's my target really, mate, for next year.
Beauty. I just wanted to know that. But yeah, that's lovely. That's a good target. But it's been a wonderful talk, guys. It's been actually amazing. I love what you've got going on as well.
Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. This is my first ever podcast video stream like this. So
this is my second.
Good,
first of many. But anyway,
I need to work on my socials a bit more, I think. So,
yeah.
I'll be like, as soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to ring Stu.
You know what I'm going to say to you?
Yeah, fuck off, Ray. Go to bed.
I'm going to send you a link to the mentoring group.
Yeah. He's in there.
Listen, boys, have a fantastic Christmas. Everyone who's watching, everyone on the group, Merry Christmas. Have a fantastic Christmas. Hope you, get at least Christmas Day and Boxing Day off to spend with your families. I know most of us have got a lot more than that.
Cooke as well, mate. Enjoy your first Christmas with your little girl.
Oh,
yeah.
Brother.
What's going to happen is you're just going to have loads of shit everywhere. From everyone.
Look forward to it.
She's beautiful, bro. She's beautiful.
Mate, you'll be getting stuff off grandparents. Oh, this was a bit big, but I think she can wear it when she's free.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that.
Enjoy your first Christmas, mate. It's wicked.
Respect.
Merry Christmas to everyone, man. A Happy New Year, bro. Like, and as I say, next year, man, I want to see all you guys. I want us to collaborate together and get this unity going, man, because the more the merrier, innit? Better content. I want us to really.
You just reminded me, actually. You just reminded me, Chris. Next year, right, in May, we're actually all meeting up in Edinburgh. And I'd like to invite you down there if you get an opportunity, mate, even if it's just
I'm there already. I'm waiting for you. I'm down there waiting for you. I'm going to be there.
Same for you, Raymond, mate. I want you there if you can. If you want to bring the kids and the missus, mate, like Joel is, and I'm going to be, then, it's not just getting on it and getting smashed. Let's just meet up. We'll go paintballing. We'll go, I don't know, bowling.
We'll I'm on it, man. 100%, man. I'm down with all of that. That's what I call living.
We need to do the trial. You've got a job lined up down there, innit? A big, massive job, and you want all this free labour.
It's figuring me out.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in diary, mate, but put me down for that 100%, mate. Let me know details, where we're doing, and I'll get it all done.
And I'll tell you what, anyone else that's listening, actually, that's on Trial Talk, you want to come and meet up for this Plasterers meet-up May 2024 in Edinburgh. Last year, I think there was like 12 of us, maybe, something like that, maybe 10. It was a real good turnout and it was a top crack. And you're all welcome. Come and join us. It'll be really, really good. Get to meet Big Mark Neeson as well. So it's worth the trip just to meet Mark. All right, boys. Merry Christmas again. I hope you guys have a top break. I'm going to get going now. So 20 to 9. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Joel, and everyone else. Merry Christmas.
Ray, all the best. Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, Chris, as well, mate. See you later.
Take care, bro. Merry